We're talking about the fact that all these white people and white women get deals and black women are always looked at last. And I realize this because my man and I talk about this pretty frequently about marketing, right? Because he works in marketing and brand partnerships and understanding the audience, understanding the importance of the demographic. And I just think that most of these companies, these corporations, do not properly equip themselves to understand how marketing to a black audience works. And so they don't even understand the profitability of the black audience. So they're not even willing to take the risk to do it and bet on it because they don't, even though it's already been proven. That's the wild shit. But that's why I say the companies are not equipping themselves, especially all the ones that put up all those black squares last year on social media. Good job. Sick job diversifying your fucking Instagram page and not your company, dickbags. Anyway, no, but I mean, most of these companies they're not equipping themselves to really have adequate teams to be like, yo, the black dollar is actually way more likely to be coming in if you subscribe to this type of content, if you're willing to pay these type of creators. Yep. The bar now has been, I mean, we even talked about TikTok and the importance of TikTok. Think about how many young black creators on TikTok have gotten the short end of the stick.
Absolutely. Did you see apparently that the black TikTokers went on strike? Or something I didn't know that. From creating dances. And so it's crazy because now it's coming out that all these white people tried to make a dance to Meg Thee Stallion's that shit. And it says put your hands on your knees, and the white people can't find their knees.
They just love their arms in the air. Like it's always like, woo, with this little dress on. Like they love it.
But like, yeah, they can't create even. It's like they either culturally appropriate or they literally just steal ideas. One or the other.
I mean, the appropriating is the stealing of ideas.
Well, that too.
That's all it is. And that's also why I say they don't know. Most of these corporations would not know what to do with bringing. Like if they decided, if all of a sudden, you know, YouTube decided, you know what, we need to allocate a couple $1 million to these few like young black kids that are coming up with all these incredible dances on TikTok, just to have them do tutorials on YouTube, have it be exclusively on YouTube. We'll pay them a couple $1 million to do and let them have their space to do it. No one's even thinking about that and considering how profitable it is. Instead, they're picking up a random white girl in some fucking mom jeans and putting her on Jimmy Fallon.
There you go. Yep.
It's exhausting to me, but also it's upsetting because obviously being in a podcast space and having a certain quality of content, you understand that the only way to really be seen in that space is to continue your output and your oversaturation. So on top of being overly qualified to do it, you also have to come twice as hard with it. Like you have to produce even more.
She showed up with 100 episodes. So Spotify bought 100 episodes, 50 of which are with the other girl who's no longer even a part of the show.
But hasn't she been not a part of the show for a really long time already?
1 year.
And she's just still, that's not okay.
Bro.
What lawyer do they have?
A shitty one. And I'm not going to lie. Here's the thing too.
She has a great one.
Well,
one
clearly.
That's just getting 60 mil.
But my bit of advice too, and I think that this is what happens when people are not protected, because I don't even want to make this about just call her daddy. Because I met Sophia Franklin, dope girl. So I don't want to necessarily hone in on her, but we saw this same thing happen with a producer that was with Gilly and Wallow on theirs, where he was there from day one when, was it Barstool? Who bought Gilly and Wallow shit?
I think it's Barstool.
Yeah. It is Barstool, right? They got over $1 million deal. And this producer who was there from day one thought he was an equity person because he was a part of it from day one. Barstool's people came in and he got no money. No.
Wow.
And so I say it's crazy because a lot of us do. We saw the shit just happen with JBP. You create these things with friends. You believe shit is on either verbal things or you just don't know the value of something in the very beginning. Yeah. And I think even for this and even for that producer on with Gilly and Wallow, like you lack not having the idea that no, you have to create a contract. You have to create a partnership agreement. You have to create something that protects you. Like I literally just had a call, a week ago, 2 weeks ago with my legal. I have a partnership agreement. I have a contract here. I have a contract there. We got a call on with our lawyers, cost us hundreds of dollars because I said, we need to break down what these contracts mean.
Exactly.
Right. How can we move forward? What does it mean if we don't want to do this anymore? Who do we owe? What obligations do we have? And I think it's also important. The thing is, we're all creating our own wealth right now. A lot of us did not come from a generational wealth.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
A lot of us don't even come from a creative household. So this idea of us creating these...
We starting from the ground up.
From the ground up.
Completely.
So a lot of us, in terms of understanding what a partnership agreement is or understanding how to protect ourselves legally, we don't know.
We don't know what to ask for. We don't know what is like the ballpark figure. We also don't have like good like guidance.
Because now my lawyer said unless they got 60 mil, we not showing up.
These corporations are not interested in taking that risk and really in cutting that check. Unless it's, and in the Issa Rae situation, it's unfortunate, but there's a certain, with Black content in general, that especially with Black shows, you can tell that there's a certain, it's non-threatening content, right? Like I get excited when I get to see shows like The Chi thrive, like 20s, which is also another Lena Waithe show, thrive. Even, you know, going as far back to Boondocks and how honest.
I think it's coming back too.
And how honest and raw Boondocks was. The content, the script writing was for that. And it was an animated show. Yeah. Like, I love to see shows that push the envelope a little bit more. Same. Insecure is a non-threatening narrative about Black women, about Black people. So of course HBO was gonna fucking throw millions of dollars at it. And it's not to say that it's not an amazing show, but at the same time, we understand they're not necessarily the same team is not necessarily going to go in and do that every time for a Black story or a Black narrative or a Black podcast that they don't necessarily understand the market for, and B are not going to be able to control. But also something like this is like, okay, it's a fucking blonde white girl. Like talking about sucking dick. Of course there's a market for that. It's like,
but is there? But that's my problem too, because as Black women, we also have those very same experiences with sex. And that's my problem. Even you bringing up the Boondocks. Yeah. Guess what show was just as problematic, had just as many curse words, and probably made millions of dollars more? South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still a cartoon. Yeah. But from the white narrative perspective instead of Boondocks, which was clearly a Black cartoon. And so, yeah, like I said, when I saw this, I was like, yay. I said to her, I said, see, girl, there's money in this space. But also just know we gonna have to show up, be correct, and be here in a space where we know we're gonna have to put in a lot more work than our white counterparts.
Yeah.